Crabs in a bucket, recognizing and addressing damaging behavior in relationships. The concept of crabs in a bucket behavior can damage relationships. Jealousy and insecurity can cause one partner or another friend or acquaintance to speak negatively about the other partner, undermining and poisoning the relationship. In this episode, we learn how to overcome this behavior and build a culture of positivity and support for a stronger bond. The concept of crabs in a bucket refers to the behavior of crabs when they are placed in a bucket or a container. When one crab tries to climb out and escape, the other crabs will try to pull it back down into the bucket. This real-life phenomenon has become a metaphor for how some individuals behave when they see others trying to achieve success or happiness. In the context of relationships, the concept of crabs in a bucket can be applied to situations where one partner is speaking negatively about the other, consciously or unconsciously. This behavior can be driven by feelings of jealousy, insecurity, or resentment towards their partner's success or happiness. Instead of supporting their partner, these individuals may try to bring them down, either by criticizing their achievements or by undermining their confidence. The crabs in a bucket concept can also be applied to situations where someone is whispering negative things about your partner in your ear. In this context, the person who is speaking negatively can be thought of as a crab trying to pull your partner back down into the bucket rather than supporting them as they try to climb out. Just like crabs in a bucket, people outside the relationship who engage in this behavior may be motivated by feelings of jealousy, insecurity, or resentment towards you or your partner's happiness or success. By trying to plant doubts in your mind or undermine your confidence in your partner, they may be trying to keep you or your partner from succeeding in the relationship. It's important to recognize this behavior for what it is and to understand that it will damage your relationship if you let it. Just as it's important to avoid engaging in crabs in a bucket behavior yourself, it's also important to be mindful of others who may be trying to pull you or your partner down. By being aware of this behavior and taking steps to address it, you can help to create a more positive and supportive environment in your relationship. This awareness might involve setting boundaries with the person who is speaking negatively, focusing on building a culture of positivity and support within your relationship, or seeking outside help if necessary. When someone talks negatively about your partner, whether it's done overtly or covertly, it can be hurtful, damaging, or even end your relationship should you not recognize the behavior. This behavior can create tension and conflict between you and your partner, and it can also damage your trust in the person who is speaking negatively. People need to consider the concept of crabs in a bucket when they find themselves in these situations. First and foremost, it is crucial to recognize that this behavior is unhealthy for the relationship. When one partner constantly belittles or criticizes the other, it can create a toxic environment that can damage the relationship and erode the trust and respect between partners. If someone is whispering negative things about your partner in your ear, it's essential to consider their motives and the impact of their words. Are they genuinely concerned about your well-being and trying to offer helpful advice, or are they trying to create conflict or undermine your relationship? If you suspect that the person has harmful intentions, it's essential to approach the situation carefully and tactfully. It is also important to acknowledge that this behavior may be driven by jealousy or insecurity, which can be challenging to overcome. These feelings may stem from personal issues or past traumas, and addressing them may require professional help or therapy. It is essential to have open and honest communication with one's partner, and to approach these issues with empathy and understanding. First, gather more information about what the person is saying and why. You might ask them directly why they need to speak negatively about your partner, or to plant doubts in your mind. Be honest about how their behavior is affecting you and your relationship, and let them know that you're not comfortable with their actions. It's also important to talk to your partner about what's going on. Be honest about what you've heard and how it's making you feel. Your partner may be able to provide context or clarity around the situation, and they may also have their concerns or feelings about the person who is speaking negatively. Another way to address the issue of crabs in a bucket behavior is to focus on building a culture of positivity and support in the relationship. This can be achieved by actively celebrating each other's successes and accomplishments, as well as by providing emotional support and encouragement during difficult times. By creating a supportive environment, both partners can feel empowered and motivated to pursue their goals and achieve happiness. Ultimately, it's up to you to decide how to handle the situation. You may choose to confront the person who is speaking negatively, or you may decide to limit your interactions with them. Whatever you decide, it's crucial to prioritize your relationship with your partner and to work together to maintain a healthy and supportive dynamic. In conclusion, the concept of crabs in a bucket can offer valuable insights into how individuals behave in relationships, particularly regarding jealousy and insecurity. By recognizing this behavior and actively working to create a culture of positivity and support, individuals can strengthen their relationships and achieve greater happiness and success together. By working together to overcome crabs in a bucket behavior, you and your partner can strengthen your bond and achieve greater happiness and success. Resources for further study. The concept of crabs in a bucket and its application to relationships is a widely discussed topic in self-help and relationship literature. While there is no single source for the information provided, many books, articles, and podcasts discuss this concept and provide advice on how to recognize and address damaging behavior in relationships. Some examples of resources that cover this topic include The 7 Principles for Making Marriage Work by John Gottman, The Relationship Cure by John Gottman and Joan DeClaire, and The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. The 4 Agreements is a book by Don Miguel Ruiz that outlines 4 principles for personal transformation and spiritual growth. While the book does not explicitly address the concept of crabs in a bucket, the principles it outlines can be applied to situations where individuals engage in this behavior. The first agreement is to be impeccable with your word. This means speaking with integrity, saying only what you mean, avoiding gossip and negativity, and using the power of your words to create positivity and harmony. When individuals engage in crabs in a bucket behavior, they often use their words to undermine and criticize others, which goes against this agreement. By being impeccable with your word, you can help to create a more positive and supportive environment in your relationships, and avoid engaging in harmful behavior yourself. The second agreement is to not take anything personally. This means recognizing that other people's words and actions are a reflection of their own beliefs and experiences, not a reflection of your worth or value. When individuals engage in crabs in a bucket behavior, they are often projecting their own insecurities and fears onto others, which can be hurtful and damaging. By not taking their words or actions personally, you can avoid getting caught up in their negativity and maintain your own sense of self-worth and confidence. The third agreement is to not make assumptions. This means asking questions and seeking clarity rather than jumping to conclusions or making assumptions about others' intentions or motivations. When individuals engage in crabs in a bucket behavior, they often make assumptions about others' motives or intentions without seeking to understand their perspective. By not making assumptions, you can avoid misunderstandings and conflicts and build more positive and supportive relationships. The fourth agreement is to always do your best. This means putting in your best effort, even when things are challenging or difficult, and being compassionate and forgiving with yourself when you fall short. When individuals engage in crabs in a bucket behavior, they often give in to their own fears and insecurities and fail to do their best. By always doing your best, you can overcome these fears and insecurities and build a more positive and supportive relationship with yourself and others. Overall, while the 4 Agreements does not specifically address crabs in a bucket behavior, its principles can be applied to create a more positive and supportive environment in relationships and avoid engaging in harmful behavior yourself. Additionally, many online blogs and forums discuss the crabs in a bucket concept and offer personal anecdotes and advice for how to overcome this behavior.